Seventh grader commits suicide after classmates say he is going to hell for being gay. Watch this.
He was peaceful. He was a peaceful soul.
At just 12 years old, Eli Fritchley wasn't afraid to be himself.
He didn't care, or we thought he didn't care. And that's what's really difficult for us, is because we thought he didn't care.
He played in the marching band, painted his nails, loved the color pink, and wore the same SpongeBob sweatshirt nearly every day.
I think that a part of it is probably because he was in the same clothes every single day, that they used that as maybe a weapon.
Eli was one of a kind, and that was often not accepted by his peers.
He was told, because he didn't necessarily have a religion and he said he was gay, that he was going to go to hell. He told him that quite often.
His parents heard his cries, but didn't realize the weight he carried in his heart.
It was really abusive. I don't think it was ever physical. I think it was just words, but words hurt.
Eli never blamed anyone, they said, instead shining compassion and innocence from his gentle soul.
This has just blindsided us. This is something that we would never, ever have expected.
His mother made the tragic discovery Sunday night in his bedroom.
It's been really hard. That image was terrible until we got to hold him yesterday. And now that image is gone, because the only word that we could think of yesterday when we were kissing and loving on him was how angelic he looked. And he absolutely looks angelic. He's just an angel.
An angel, she says, that was loved more than he realized, yet failed by everyone in his circle.
We all failed him. We all failed him. It's simple as that.
Now they have a new mission, pleading to stop bullying, with hopes that no other child or parent goes through their same heartache.
I honestly think that education for everyone where bullying is concerned, because it is a problem, not just in Bedford County, it's a problem everywhere.
This is truly tragic. A seventh grader in Bedford County, Tennessee, died by suicide last week after he was ruthlessly bullied for being gay. The parents of 12-year-old Eli Fritchley say his peers repeatedly told him he was going to hell because of his sexuality. Eli's mom told WHNT News students mocked Eli for the way he dressed. He loved pink, painted his nails, and wore the same SpongeBob sweatshirt almost daily. Eli's dad, Steve, said he doesn't think the students ever physically abused Eli, but that verbal abuse can be just as harmful. Quote, "I think it was just words, but words hurt. They really hurt," end quote. Steve and Debbie are now working on launching an anti-bullying foundation in Eli's honor. The Fritchleys hope to prevent what happened to Eli from happening to other kids and families. Eli's mother said, quote, "We all failed him. We all failed him. It's as simple as that," end quote.
This literally breaks my heart and boils my blood with the story that we had right before it.
I don't know how the people that are involved in like what Capital Star is doing, how they don't see the direct correlation. Mm-hmm. This is somebody's life, and if life is paramount in their beliefs, how do you not see how their actions are costing someone their life?
Because the GOP is not...
You're drawing the comparison to the zealot nature of abortion rights in terms of protecting life. But once this situation occurs, they are not as aggressively protecting life. That's your point there.
That's what, I think they care about life until it's born, and then they don't care for how it's taken care of. And that's
life
a real
begins
problem.
at conception, but ends at birth.
Right.
Sadly, that's I think how they perceive.
Yeah. Good luck once you exit the womb.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact is they are not a pro-life party. This child is not going to hell. This child was living in hell. Right. When he took his own life. That's why we need those resources that were up there. The GOP does not give a damn about anybody's life. I was just up in Michigan. There is no child that can be shot in school. There is no child that can take their own life that they will give a rat's ass about if it goes against their own personal political opinions. And God help that family and that kid.
Yeah.
I think it also shows, by the way, the need for us to educate parents on what to look for. Because here we saw that the parents, they saw there were signs, but they didn't know how to interpret how serious those signs were, how to ask the right questions. So I think there's an opportunity for us to really talk more to parents who may not know how to deal with this.
Well, now they can't even search the Department of Education's website in Florida to find resources for their children. And it's
You know, the shocking thing here is the not shocking thing.
Right.
The shocking thing here is that this is a 12-year-old. It's a 7th grader. A 12-year-old should not be facing the decision of committing suicide. A 7th grader shouldn't be facing the decision to commit suicide. Unfortunately, overwhelmingly, LGBTQ youth, and in this age group, face pressure that we can't, that is different if we face discrimination. They're facing a fundamental decision that frequently often leads to this kind of decision making, which is why this is so shockingly disappointing. The second thing is 12-year-olds don't know how to preach the Bible. So to preach "you are going to hell" is not something a 12-year-old processes. They were taught to say that.
Right.
Who is culpable here are the parents that are teaching their children to hate.
I would add the school administrators who aren't doing their due diligence.
Yeah, it's very depressing, but I also, there's a hope in me, right? Because I think there are school districts in America, there are places where kids of any gender identity, of any sexuality, they feel at home, they feel comfortable and normal, which goes to show that, you know, kids, when raised properly, when left to their own devices, they don't have hate in their heart, right? This isn't the norm, but this is what happens in places where we don't provide the right resources, where we preach hate to our children. We lose lives.
Yeah. We humbly, we can say we're doing this story at Queer News tonight because this story is so vitally important. We have learned in the trans community, you say the name Eli Fritchley. Eli Fritchley. There shouldn't be another Eli Fritchley, and that's why we do this story at Queer News tonight. LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus